We tell stories of human. Way, not with artificial voices or AI slop. In the end, what's HFI without? Humanity? Subscribe to keep it this way. My name is Amir Sohal. Let's begin. The galaxy had always believed humans were weak. Their technology was simple compared to the fleets of the Sorlian Empire or the advanced minds of the Krythan Collective. To the rest of the galaxy, humans were insignificant, a species that could barely hold its own against local threats, let alone stand in a galactic war. But today, all that was about to change. On the outer edge of the Zyran cluster, a small alien outpost received a transmission. The signal was weak, distorted, and urgent. It was unlike anything the aliens had seen before, a desperate call for help, coming from a human world called Terra Nova. Commander Valor of the Sorlian Patrol Fleet squinted at the flickering holoscreen. "It can't be real," he muttered. His green-scaled hands hovered over the control panel. Humans do not call for aid. They do not broadcast weakness. This is strange. The voice on the screen crackled. It was human, rough but firm. "We are under attack. Our world is being destroyed. If you do not help us, the entire galaxy will suffer. Please hurry." The transmission cut off, leaving only static. Valor leaned back in his chair, unsure what to make of it. Around him, the other officers exchanged nervous glances. The Sorlian Empire prided itself on knowing every corner of the galaxy. No human colony had ever reached this level of desperation. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Still, curiosity gnawed at them. Valor activated the fleet scanners, trying to locate the origin of the transmission. The readings were chaotic, full of interference, yet unmistakably human in nature. The message had come from the Terra Nova system, a place no Sorlian fleet had ever visited. "Set a course," Valor said finally. "We need to see this for ourselves. If humans are in trouble, well, I do not like leaving potential trouble unexplored." Meanwhile, on Terra Nova, panic ruled the human colonies. Cities once full of life were burning, the sky glowing red with explosions. Alien ships, sleek, black, and silent, hovered above the surface, firing beams of energy that tore buildings apart. Humans had tried to fight back, but the aliens' technology was far superior. Their weapons struck with precision, their shields were almost unbreakable, and their numbers were overwhelming. Colonel Marcus Hayes stood on a ridge overlooking the capital city. His uniform was scorched, dust clinging to his boots. He scanned the horizon with a pair of binoculars, noting the alien ship's movements. "They've advanced," he muttered to himself. "They're learning from every move we make. How is this possible?" Beside him, Lieutenant Sarah Kim checked the tactical display. "Sir, reinforcements are not responding. Our fleets are scattered. If we do not act now, Terra Nova is lost." Hayes clenched his fists. "Then we act. We do what humans do best. Adapt, fight, survive." But deep down, even he feared the truth. The aliens weren't just here to conquer. They were here to destroy. Back on the Sorlian Patrol Fleet, the officers finally reached Terra Nova. As they approached, the scale of destruction shocked them. Entire cities were leveled. The humans were organized, but their numbers were nothing compared to the alien forces raining destruction from above. Valor's communicator beeped. "Commander, this is Officer Drell. Sensors are picking up something unusual. The humans, they are fighting back in ways we did not expect. Their formations are irregular, unpredictable. It's almost chaotic." Valor frowned. "Explain, Drell." "They're using guerrilla tactics, ambushes, and decoys. Their ships are small, but they move fast, striking where we least expect. They are learning from every strike we make. It's terrifying." Valor leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "Humans learning? Impossible. They are primitive. Their war machines should not adapt so quickly." "Are you sure?" "Yes, Commander. I have double-checked the readings. They are evolving." The term evolving sent a shiver down Valor's spine. No other species in the galaxy had ever adapted so rapidly. The human strategy was dynamic, constantly changing. Every time the aliens thought they had an advantage, the humans shifted tactics, countering with ingenuity that no artificial intelligence could predict. On the ground, Hayes and his team moved through the ruins, gathering civilians and coordinating resistance. Every human survivor was terrified, but each was determined to fight. There was no choice. Humanity had faced countless disasters before. Plagues, natural disasters, wars on their own planet. Each time they survived. Now, they face an enemy unlike any other. Hayes turned to Kim. We have one chance. We need to hit their command ships directly. If we fail, Terra Nova is finished. Kim shook her head. It's almost impossible, sir. They're protected by shields that our weapons can't penetrate. Hayes stared at the alien ships hovering above the city. Then he smiled faintly. Then we find a way. Humans always find a way. Above the planet, the Sorlian fleet observed silently. The alien commander could not believe what he saw. Humans were launching small, coordinated strikes, using improvised weapons and clever tactics. Each attack seemed designed to confuse the aliens, stretching their formations thin. Valor whispered under his breath, "They are dangerous." In the observation deck, other officers nodded. They had come expecting a demonstration of human weakness. Instead, they were witnessing a species that refused to bow, a species that fought back with courage and cunning. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and now it was paying the price. Suddenly, a new transmission crackled through the Sorlian fleet's communication network. It was human. "This is Colonel Marcus Hayes of Terra Nova." The voice said, firm despite the chaos in the background. "You may be stronger, faster, and more advanced, but you will not break us. If you continue this attack, we will show you why humanity is feared in every corner of this galaxy. You will regret underestimating us." The message ended, leaving a stunned silence among the aliens. Even the bravest Sorlian officers were shaken. The humans' defiance was palpable. Valor stared at the stars above Terra Nova, his mind racing. This is not what we expected. Humans are something else entirely. We need to report this back to the High Council. They must know, but it was too late. The humans were already adapting, changing their positions, preparing for the next wave. Every move they made was unpredictable, yet effective. Every strike against the aliens revealed a glimpse of a deeper intelligence, a cunning that the galaxy had never anticipated. On the surface, Hayes led a small squad toward an abandoned energy facility. They needed resources, weapons, anything that could give them an edge. Around them, the city burned, smoke and debris filling the air. Civilians clung to each other, terrified but trusting the soldiers to guide them. Kim turned to Hayes. "Sir, if we make it there, we might be able to turn there." The fires of Terra Nova still burned in the distance, casting long shadows over the ruined cities. Smoke curled into the sky, mingling with the cold blue light of alien warships that hovered like predatory birds above the planet. From orbit, the Sorlian fleet observed in tense silence. Commander Valor had not moved from the observation deck since the humans' last transmission. He could not shake the feeling that something dangerous was awakening. "Commander," Officer Drell said, voice tight with unease, "our sensors indicate human ships are regrouping. Their numbers are low, but their formations are unlike anything we've ever analyzed. They are unpredictable." Valor's claws tapped on the console. "Show me." The screen flickered. Tiny human ships darted among the ruins, zigzagging through debris, slipping past laser barriers, striking alien patrols, and disappearing into smoke. Every attack seemed calculated, yet there was no pattern for the Sorlian AI to track. "They are learning," Drell whispered, almost afraid to say it aloud. "Every strike they make is more efficient than the last. It's as if they can see the outcome before it happens." Valor felt a chill run through his spine. Humans were never meant to be able to adapt this fast. They were primitive in technology, yes, but they had something no other species seemed to possess: instinctive genius in chaos. On the ground, Colonel Marcus Hayes led a squad through a half-collapsed industrial district. The alien patrols were relentless, sweeping the streets in search of survivors, yet they always seemed one step behind. Hayes paused behind a crumbling wall, peering around the corner. "They're coming," he whispered. Kim, crouched beside him, frowned. "Our drones have picked up 3 patrols converging here. We can't fight them head-on." Hayes grinned faintly, eyes narrowing. Then we don't fight them head-on. We make them fight where we want them. He pulled a small device from his pack. It was a prototype, a makeshift EMP launcher, designed to disable small alien drones for just a few seconds. This is our edge. Not strength, not numbers, but unpredictability. Kim's eyes widened. Sir, one wrong move and we're done. Then we won't make a wrong move, Hayes said, voice firm. Humans survive because we do what others cannot imagine. Follow my lead. They moved silently through the wreckage. Alien patrols passed, unaware of the trap that humans had prepared. Hayes signaled to Kim, who deployed a series of EMP charges along a narrow corridor between two shattered buildings. When the first patrol entered, the EMPs detonated with a bright flash, sending the alien drones into temporary blackout. The humans struck, small, precise, and merciless, disabling the patrol before it could recover. From the air, the Sorlian fleet scanners recorded the chaos below. What were they doing? Vaylor muttered. Every human attack seemed to be a lesson, a test of alien response. Each movement was smarter, faster, more lethal than the last. Meanwhile, human engineers worked tirelessly behind the lines, using salvaged alien tech. They modified old war machines and small ships to adapt to alien combat patterns. No human had experience with these weapons, yet they learned fast, reprogramming drones, rerouting power, and devising traps. A young engineer named Lena crossed a makeshift control room, adjusting energy outputs. The alien shields are strongest in the front, she said aloud, mostly to herself. But if we overload the side grids, maybe we can create a temporary breach. Hayes glanced at her. Do it. Every second counts. As she activated the system, the lights on the control panel flickered, the hum of energy growing louder. Outside, one of the alien command ships paused mid-orbit as a human strike breached its weak point, even if only briefly. The aliens aboard could only watch in disbelief. Back in orbit, Vaylor's voice was low, almost shaking. They're adapting. They're not just surviving. They're teaching themselves faster than our systems can calculate. It's impossible. Drell shook his head. Commander, if this continues, they might actually win. I have never seen this before. Our weapons, our numbers, we've never lost like this, and yet... Vaylor closed his eyes, fighting to suppress the rising panic. Yet they are humans. Of course humans. The Sorlian High Council had always dismissed the species as primitive. They had underestimated human determination, adaptability, and ingenuity. The humans were rewriting the rules of war with each move, showing a terrifying ability to turn disadvantage into advantage. On the ground, Hayes and Kim moved to another district, following a mapped route of alien patrol patterns they had been analyzing for hours. Civilians followed, carrying supplies, moving with purpose despite the chaos around them. They reached a small plaza where a downed alien drone lay smoking. Hayes picked up a metal shard from the wreckage, studying it. Every weapon has a weakness, he muttered. Every machine, every mind. All we need is patience and precision. Kim raised an eyebrow. Sir, this is going to be close. Hayes nodded. Everything worth doing is close, Kim. Remember that. Suddenly, a shadow passed over Plaza. The humans froze, sensing movement from above. An alien reconnaissance ship descended, scanning the area. Civilians ducked into ruined buildings as Hayes signaled for a squad to prepare. The humans had no weapons capable of destroying the ship directly, but they had traps. Lena's energy reroutes activated remotely, sending a pulse through the city grid that interfered with the alien ship sensors. Lights flickered, metal groaned, and the alien ship wobbled midair, temporarily blind to its targets. Hayes smiled grimly. Now! The squad struck from the shadows, striking patrols and forcing the ship to retreat. It was a small victory, but one that shook the aliens' confidence. In orbit, Vaylor stared at the holoscreen, watching the human success. This is unacceptable. They should be destroyed. Every strike, every countermeasure. How do they know what to do? Drell's voice was tense. They're thinking faster than we can track. Every move is a reaction, but also a prediction. It's like they know our patterns before we make them. Vaylor shook his head. Humans are Dangerous. Dangerous beyond what we imagined. Back on Terra Nova, Hayes and his squad reached the central command facility of the city. Though heavily damaged, it still housed functioning systems. Using salvaged alien tech, Hayes connected to the main grid. "We don't have much time," he said. "We hit the alien supply lines. If we disrupt their coordination, we can level the playing field." Kim nodded. "It's risky. Their fleet will notice immediately." Hayes smiled faintly. "Then we'll make sure they notice too late." The humans worked quickly, rerouting energy, hacking communications, and creating diversions across the city. Alien patrols scrambled, unsure where attacks would come from. Every time they thought they had control, the humans struck elsewhere. The Sorlian fleet watched, helpless. Their command systems were overloaded by human improvisation. Every strike was small, yet perfectly executed. The humans were teaching themselves faster than the aliens could respond, learning, adapting, evolving, something no species in the galaxy had ever done. As night fell, Terra Nova glowed with scattered fires and lights from human defenses. Hayes and Kim stood on a ridge, looking down at the battlefield. "We've done what we can," Kim said. Hayes shook his head. "No, we've only begun. The aliens think they've seen humans. They have not. They have never seen humans fight like this before." Above, alien command ships hovered, scanning the city, sending messages back to the High Council. Panic was spreading. If humans could survive today, adapt today, they could win tomorrow. Vaylor, on his observation deck, whispered to no one in particular. "The galaxy has underestimated humans, and it will pay for that mistake." And somewhere deep in the shadows, Lena and her team prepared the next strike. This was only the beginning. The humans had shown the aliens that numbers and technology alone could not win a war. Ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability could turn the tide, and humans had all three in abundance. The war had unfolded. The galaxy was watching, and Terra Nova's defenders were ready to show that humans were a force to be feared. The galaxy had always whispered about humans. Weak, primitive, predictable. Now, those whispers had turned into shouts of alarm. From the outer rim to the Sorlian High Command, alien councils were in chaos. Every report, every transmission told the same story. Humans were not only surviving, they were defying every expectation. Commander Vaylor's fleet hovered silently above Terra Nova. The war below was no longer just a battle. It was a lesson. Every human maneuver was deliberate, intelligent, and terrifyingly unpredictable. "Commander," Officer Drell said, voice tight, "our data shows human forces are not just defending. They are anticipating our strikes before we even make them. They've learned our attack patterns and evolved faster than our AI can process. They're adapting in real time." Vaylor rubbed his claws over his face. "This is impossible. Humans are humans. They're supposed to be chaotic, weak. But what we see, this is not chaos. This is strategy. Genius strategy, and it is terrifying." Below, on Terra Nova, the humans prepared their next move. Colonel Marcus Hayes and Lieutenant Sarah Kim had spent the last hours analyzing alien patterns. Each patrol, each ship maneuver, even every laser strike left clues. Humans were reading these clues faster than the aliens could think they could. "We have a chance," Hayes said, crouched behind a shattered wall with Kim. "If we hit the supply nexus tonight, we can cripple their coordination. The fleet will be blind, and we can control the battlefield." Kim frowned. "Sir, their nexus is heavily guarded. We're talking hundreds of elite alien troops and automated defenses. One mistake, and it's over." Hayes nodded slowly. "Then we make sure we don't make mistakes. Humans survive by thinking like no one else does." He signaled to his team. Lena, the engineer, brought forward her modified drones, small devices capable of emitting pulses to disable alien shields temporarily. The humans would strike precisely, surgically, using the aliens' own fear and confusion against them. As night fell over Terra Nova, the humans began their operation. Shadows moved through ruins, drones zipped through narrow streets, and civilians guided supply lines silently, like ghosts. Alien patrols passed, unaware they were being funneled into traps. The first breach came near the central nexus. Humans activated EMP devices, sending waves of disruption through alien shields. Alien drones froze midair, their weapons useless for precious seconds. The humans struck, small, precise, and deadly. Patrols were neutralized before they could call for backup. From orbit, Vaylor and his officers watched in stunned silence. "They are choreographed," Drell whispered. "It is impossible. Every move they make is part of a greater plan. They see the battlefield as a whole, not just a fight in front of them." Vaylor swallowed hard. They are not just fighting. They are teaching themselves, learning, predicting. This is dangerous. The Sorlian High Council received reports faster than ever. Panic spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, other species who had once dismissed humans now whisper warnings. The humans are dangerous. They cannot be ignored. In Vaylor's fleet, fear began to take root. Officers argued, some wanting to retreat, others insisting they could crush the humans with sheer firepower. But each new attack, each clever strike, left doubt in every mind. "They are teaching themselves faster than our algorithms can anticipate," one officer shouted. "Their improvisation, their courage, it's unreal." Vaylor's tail twitched nervously. He had always known humans were stubborn. He had heard legends of their resilience. But he had never believed in this level of ingenuity, this capacity to turn chaos into victory. On the ground, Hayes led a squad to the final corridor toward the supply nexus. Smoke and debris filled the air, illuminated by alien searchlights and distant explosions. Civilians huddled in ruined buildings, trusting the humans to lead them. Kim leaned close. "Sir, this is insane. If we get caught..." Hayes smiled faintly. "Then we won't get caught. Humans survive by thinking like no one else can. That is what sets us apart." They activated the next stage of their plan. Lena's drones moved first, slipping into narrow ventilation shafts and conduits. Tiny pulses of energy disrupted alien sensors, creating openings for human soldiers to move unseen. When the first alarm sounded, it was already too late. Humans struck simultaneously from multiple angles, a perfectly timed assault that seemed impossible to coordinate. Alien soldiers scrambled, confused, unable to predict where the next attack would come from. In orbit, Vaylor watched, his heart pounding. Every new move the humans made defied expectation. Every strike was not just defense. It was a lesson in the statement. Humans were sending a message. We are not weak. We are not to be underestimated. "Commander," Drell whispered, almost trembling, "they are terrifying. Entire fleets have fallen to much smaller human squads. And every day they grow smarter, faster, more efficient. How can they learn this quickly?" Vaylor shook his head. "They are evolution in motion. The galaxy has never seen anything like this. Not even the Kryden Collective could match this adaptability." Meanwhile, Hayes reached the supply nexus with his squad. Alien defenses were still active, but humans had already prepared. Mines and energy pulses disrupted shield arrays. One by one, patrols fell into carefully planned traps. Hayes moved forward, checking his team. "Keep calm. Move like shadows. Hit like lightning. The moment we falter, it's over." The humans pressed on, disabling key generators, rerouting energy, and leaving the aliens confused, frustrated, and terrified. Every strike had a purpose, every movement a calculated risk. By the time they exited the facility, the alien supply nexus was in chaos. Ships above faltered, patrols scrambled, and alien AI struggled to respond. The humans had won a decisive, psychological victory, showing the galaxy that their ingenuity could topple even the most advanced technology. Vaylor clenched his claws over the console. "The humans, they have broken our control. Entire fleets are in disarray. They've made us afraid." Drell's eyes widened. "Commander, they are terrifying, not because of their weapons, but because of what they are. Their minds, their adaptability, their will to survive. We have never faced this before." Vaylor exhaled slowly. "The galaxy underestimates humans, and it will regret it." On Terra Nova, Hayes and his squad regrouped in a hidden bunker. Civilians poured in, relieved yet exhausted. Every human involved felt the weight of victory, but Hayes knew it was only the beginning. "They've seen what we can do," he said, voice low. "They know we are dangerous. And now the entire galaxy knows it too." Kim nodded. "Sir, what now?" Hayes stared at the horizon, where alien ships hovered like vultures above their ruined cities. "Now, we make them fear us even more. We show them humans are not just survivors. We are the future war." Above the planet, alien fleets scrambled to repair the chaos humans had caused. Panic had spread through every command deck. The Sorlian High Council received reports from multiple sectors, each one describing the same horrifying reality. Humans had survived attacks no one thought possible, adapted strategies in real time, and struck with precision that left alien forces shaken to their core. The term terror spread across the galaxy in whispers. Humans were no longer just another species. They were a force that could not be ignored. Vaylor stood on his observation deck, staring down at Terra Nova. "This is only the beginning," he whispered. "If we cannot destroy them, if we cannot control them, the galaxy itself will tremble." Deep in the ruins, Hayes, Kim, and Lena prepared their next move. The humans had shown that technology, numbers, and alien training meant little when confronted with ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability. The battle had shifted. Fear had entered the hearts of the aliens. And humans had only just begun to strike. The galaxy would never forget Terra Nova, and the humans were just getting started. The fires of Terra Nova had dimmed, but the echoes of battle still hung heavy in the air. Smoke twisted into the sky, mixing with the pale light of distant stars. The human cities were scarred, but not broken. Every street, every building bore testimony to the humans' refusal to surrender. Above the planet, alien fleets hovered like shadows of doom, but now their movements were cautious, almost fearful. Commander Vaylor had never seen a species inspire such widespread terror. The humans of Terra Nova were no longer merely defenders. They were legends in the making. They survived everything we threw at them, Officer Drell muttered, voice tight with disbelief. They adapted faster than our war machines could calculate. They turned our strength into weakness. Vaylor's claws drummed against the console. "They are not just survivors," he said slowly. "They are predators. And they have just begun." On the surface, Colonel Marcus Hayes surveyed the city from a high ridge. Fire still burned in the distance, but the humans had gained the upper hand. Alien patrols were scattered, their supply lines crippled. The humans had won not by superior numbers or technology, but by ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability. Lieutenant Sarah Kim stood beside him, her face tired but determined. "Sir, what now?" "They still have fleets. We can't destroy them all." Hayes shook his head. "No, we don't need to destroy them all. We only need to show them that humans cannot be controlled, that every strike they make will be met with a response they cannot predict. That fear itself is a weapon, and we wield it better than anyone." Kim frowned. "They're terrified already. Is that enough?" Hayes smiled grimly. "Not enough yet, but it's a start." The humans moved swiftly, taking control of key communication hubs and observation points. Every system they captured allowed them to predict alien movements, or at least to mislead them. With every false strike, every feigned retreat, humans twisted the aliens' confidence into doubt, turning strategy into chaos. Lena, the engineer, monitored alien signals from a hidden control room. "Their fleet is confused," she said. "They're trying to coordinate attacks, but our diversions are making them step on each other. If we keep this up, they won't know where to strike next." Hayes nodded. "Good. Keep it that way. Humans survive when the enemy underestimates us. Let them fear the shadows, fear the unknown. Fear us." In orbit, Vaylor's fleet struggled to respond. Every plan they attempted was countered in ways that seemed impossible. Human squads struck, vanished, and struck again, using the terrain, the city, even the aliens' expectations against them. "This is madness," Drell said, voice tight. "They're learning faster than we can track. Every time we hit them, they adapt. Every time we think we understand them, they do something new, something terrifying." Vaylor turned away from the holoscreen. He could feel the weight of fear pressing against every officer in his fleet. Humans had done something no species in the galaxy had ever achieved. They had turned the hunters into the hunted. On Terra Nova, Hayes and his team prepared the final stage of their counterattack. Using salvaged alien technology, they created decoys, traps, and automated devices to mislead the enemy. They had learned the aliens' patterns, but they also introduced new, unpredictable elements. Every move was calculated, yet impossible to foresee. "We strike tonight," Hayes said. "We don't just fight. We make them remember what humans are capable of. We don't just survive, we dominate the battlefield without killing every enemy. They must fear the very thought of us." Kim nodded. "Sir, this is risky, even for humans." Hayes looked at her, eyes steady. "Nothing we're doing is safe. Remember that." As night fell, humans launched their final operation. The streets of Terra Nova were filled with shadows, silent, deadly, and coordinated. Every strike against alien patrols was precise. Every trap forced confusion. Every human action sent a clear message. You cannot predict us. You cannot control us. You cannot win unless you adapt. The aliens were trapped in a web of uncertainty. Command ships attempted to coordinate, but false signals hacked communication, and human ingenuity tore their formations apart. What had started as a battle had become a psychological war. Fear spread faster than lasers. Panic replaced confidence. Vaylor's voice trembled as he watched his fleet falter. They are everywhere. They are not just soldiers. They are ideas. They are chaos we cannot control. They are humans. On the ground, Hayes led his squad to the ruined capital. Civilians followed, guided by human resolve. They had survived impossible odds before, and now they were shaping the future of the galaxy. Every ruined street became a battlefield. Every shadow an opportunity. Every human life a statement of defiance. Kim glanced at the skies. Alien ships were retreating, their formations shattered. "Sir, they're pulling back." Hayes allowed himself a small smile. "Not because they can't fight. Because they fear what humans are capable of. Because they know we do not surrender. And we never forget." The galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. Reports streamed in from distant systems. Human resistance had survived attacks that should have annihilated them. Aliens across multiple sectors were panicked. They had underestimated humans for centuries, and now fear had taken root. In the Sorlian High Council, debates raged. What had been expected to be a minor skirmish had turned into a nightmare scenario. Humans were no longer primitive. They were a species that learned faster, fought smarter, and adapted beyond imagination. Vaylor's report was grim. Humans are unpredictable. They are fearless. They are learning faster than any AI, faster than any fleet. They are dangerous in ways we cannot quantify. The galaxy must reconsider every assumption about them. On Terra Nova, Hayes addressed his team. "Tonight, we showed the galaxy what it means to be human. Not through strength, not through technology, but through courage, creativity, and unity. Remember this moment. This is the power of humans. And the galaxy will never forget it." Lena smiled faintly. "We've done it, sir. They'll be afraid to attack again." Hayes shook his head. "They will fear us, but fear is just the beginning. Humans do not only survive, we thrive. We adapt, we endure, and when the galaxy thinks it has defeated us, that is when we strike back stronger than ever." Above, the Sorlian fleets retreated. Alien commanders whispered to each other in fear. They had faced other species. They had faced threats. But nothing like humans. These humans did not fight like other beings. They taught themselves, adapted faster than thought, and turned fear into a weapon. Vaylor stood on the observation deck, staring at the distant blue planet. The galaxy has underestimated humans, and it will pay for that mistake. And far across the stars, other alien civilizations began to take notice. The whispers grew louder. Humans were no longer insignificant. They were a force that could not be ignored, a species that would shape the galaxy for generations to come. On Terra Nova, Hayes watched the horizon. Fires burned low. The sky calmed for the first time in days. Civilians emerged from shelters, their eyes filled with relief and hope. Soldiers regrouped, exhausted but victorious. Kim stood beside him. "Sir, what happens now?" Hayes smiled, looking out at the stars. Now, the galaxy learns what humans are capable of, and we will be ready. Because humans never forget, humans never surrender, and humans always find a way. The desperate call had become a declaration. Terra Nova had survived. Humans had adapted. Humans had struck fear into the heart of the galaxy. And somewhere, far beyond the stars, every alien commander whispered the same fearful words. Humans are coming. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and support us. It really helps us grow and bring more videos like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.